Mr. Sergeant at Arms, invite the members into the chamber and close the doors. Pursuant to Article 2, Sections 3 and 8 of the Constitution of the State of Tennessee and the authority vested in me as Speaker of the House of Representatives of the 111th General Assembly, I hereby declare the organizational session of the House of Representatives of the 112th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee now in session. Will the members please stand? Will the visitors in the gallery please stand and remain standing through the Pledge of Allegiance? Representative Faison will introduce our chaplain of the day. Representative Faison.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What a special day it is to gather again with each one of you. Our pastor for today is a dear friend of mine by the name of Pastor John Rush. He's the pastor of Liberty Church in Cosby, and he has 4 children, and he moved into Tennessee about 25 years ago and became a true Tennessean. And he pours every day his heart out to the people of East Tennessee. And it is my honor to introduce to y'all my friend, John Rush.
Good morning, everyone. I wanted to thank each and every one of you for coming together to serve the people of Tennessee. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray for our state legislature here in Tennessee this morning, that you would give each person the wisdom and insight needed to help our state face the unknown and the future here in 2021. I pray for a spirit of camaraderie and blessing. I pray that you would also protect as they travel down the roads and across the state. You'd give them protection, Lord, as they go. And I pray for their families, that you'd strengthen them and bless them as there is a lot of hours and a lot of time spent in this kind of service. And Lord, I pray for our state altogether. I pray that you would bless us with peace and prosperity. And I pray that you would give us the grace to desire to know what is good and true and the courage to pursue it. And Lord, I pray that you'd continue to give us the grace to love you and to love our neighbor and to be able to live quiet and peaceable lives, because we know that this glorifies you, and we know that this is given and made possible to us through your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Representative Faison will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Clerk, please call the names by district of the representatives who have been duly elected or appointed and have been certified by the Secretary of State.
1st Representative District, John K. Crawford. 2nd District, Bud Holsey. 3rd District, Scotty Campbell. 4th District, John B. Holsclaw Jr. 5th District, David B. Hawk. 6th District, Tim Hicks. 7th District, Rebecca Alexander. 8th District, Jerome F. Moon. 9th District, Gary Hicks Jr. 10th District, Rick Eldridge. 11th District, Jeremy Faison. 12th District, Dale Carr. 13th District, Gloria Johnson. 14th District, Jason Zachary. 15th District, Sam McKenzie. 16th District, Michelle Carringer. 17th Representative District, Andrew E. Farmer. 18th Representative District, Eddie Manis. 19th District, Dave Wright. 20th District, Bob Ramsey. 21st District, Lowell Russell. 22nd District, Dan Howell. 23rd District, Mark Cochran. 24th District, Mark Hall. 25th District, Cameron Sexton. 26th District, Robin T. Smith. 27th District, Patsy Hazelwood. 28th District, Yusuf A. Hakeem. 29th District, Mike Carter. 30th District, Esther Helton. 31st District, Ron Travis. 32nd District, Kent Calfee. 33rd District, John D. Reagan. 34th District, Tim Rudd. 35th District, Jerry Sexton. 36th District, Dennis Powers. 37th District, Charlie Baum. 38th District, Kelly T. Kiesling. 39th District, Iris Rutter. 40th District, Terry Lynn Weaver. 41st District, John Mark Wendell. 42nd District, Ryan Williams. 43rd District, Paul Sherrill. 44th District, William Lamberth. 45th District, Johnny Garrett. 46th District, Clark Boyd. 47th District, Rush Bricken. 48th District, Brian Terry. 49th District, Mike Sparks. 50th District, Bo Mitchell. 51st District, Bill Beck. 52nd District, Mike Stewart. 53rd District, Jason L. Powell. 54th District, Vincent Dixie. 55th District, John Ray Clemens. 56th Representative District, Bob Freeman. 57th District, Susan M. Lynn. 58th District, Harold M. Love Jr. 59th District, Jason Potts. 60th District, Darren Jernigan. 61st District, Brandon Ogles. 62nd District, Pat Marsh. 63rd Representative District, Glenn Cassida. 64th District, Scott E. Sapicki. 65th District, Sam Whitson. 66th District, Sabi Doc Kumar. 67th District, Jason Hodges. 68th District, Curtis Johnson. 69th District, Michael G. Curcio. 70th District, Clay Doggett. 71st District, David Coach Bird. 72nd District, Kirk Haston. 73rd District, Chris Todd. 74th District, J.D. Reedy. 75th District, Bruce I. Griffey. 76th District, Tandy Darby. 77th District, Rusty Grills. 78th District, Mary Littleton. 79th District, Curtis Halford. 80th District, Johnny W. Shaw. 81st District, Deborah F. Moody. 82nd District, Chris Hurt. 83rd District, Mark White. 84th District, Joe Towns Jr. 85th District, Jesse Chisholm. 86th District, Barbara Cooper. 87th District, Karen Camper. 88th District, Larry J. Miller. 89th District, Justin Lafferty. 90th District, Torrey C. Harris. 91st District, London Lamar. 92nd District, Todd Warner. 93rd District, G.A. Hardaway. 94th District, Ron M. Gant. 95th District, William Kevin Vaughn. 96th District, Dwayne Thompson. 97th District, John Gillespie. 98th District, Antonio Parkinson. 99th District, Tom Leatherwood.
Mr. Clerk, has there been any petitions filed relative to this election?
No petitions filed, Mr. Speaker.
Let the record reflect that Representatives Byrd, Vaughn, Stewart are excused. Mr. Sergeant of Arms, please escort our guest into the chamber. Freshman members, if you have family, you are allowed to have 2 members with you on the House floor. Thank you. Will the duly elected and certified members stand while the oath of office is administered by the Honorable Justice Holly Kirby? Justice Kirby.
It is my honor to administer the oath of office to you today. You have it in writing on your desk. As we repeat it together, please hold it in your heart as you serve our great state. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that as a member of this, the 112th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, I will faithfully support the Constitution of this state and of the United States, And I do solemnly affirm that as a member of this General Assembly, I will, in all appointments, vote without favor, affection, partiality, or prejudice, and that I will not propose or assent to any bill, vote, or resolution which shall appear to me injurious to the people, or consent to any act or thing whatever that shall have a tendency to lessen or abridge their rights and privileges as declared by the Constitution of this state. So help me God. Congratulations to all of you.
Members, let me be the first to congratulate everyone to the new 112th General Assembly. Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, you are recognized for announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, please sign both copies of the oath of office forms and leave them on your desk. The oaths will be collected after session, and one of the originals will be returned to each member once they have been signed by all parties.
Mr. Sergeant of Arms, please escort our guests out of the chamber. Thank you very much. Representative Marsh is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Every member has been provided a copy of the report of the Ad Hoc Committee on Rules. These are the same rules that the House operated under during the second session of the 111th General Assembly. All references to the 111th General Assembly have been replaced by the 112th General Assembly. That is the only change. I move that the report of the Ad Hoc Committee on Rules be adopted as the temporary rules of the House of Representatives of the 111th General Assembly.
You have heard the motion. Do I hear a second? I hear a second. Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I second the motion.
Properly second. All members in favor of the motion will say aye. All opposed say no. The ayes have it. The motion prevails without objection. The motion to reconsider goes to the table. Deputy Speaker Johnson.
The next order of business is the election of the Speaker of the House. I now declare nominations are in order for the office of Speaker. Leader Lamberth.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Johnson. Members, I rise today to nominate a very good friend of mine and of yours. For the last year and a half, we have watched Speaker Cameron Sexton lead our body and serve each of us. I can boldly say that he has been fair, he has been a true friend to us, he has tried in every way, if he's been in your district, to communicate well with you, that he would be there to meet with your constituents and your friends, to ask you how he could best serve us. In my humble opinion, he has been the epitome of a servant leader for this body. And I can tell you that he is the same man, both privately that he is publicly. Cameron, I say to you now, we deeply appreciate your service to this House. I rise now and I speak for the 73 House Republican members to nominate Cameron Sexton as our next and continuing Speaker of the House.
You've heard the nomination. Do I hear a second? Representative Moody.
Thank you, and I am proud to give this second to nominate Cameron Sexton as our Speaker of the House.
Assistant Leader Gant, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that nominations cease and clerk be directed to call the roll.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? Properly seconded. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, proceed with the calling of the roll.
Mr. Speaker, if the members could please announce their vote loudly so that their vote may be recorded. Representatives Alexander, Baum, Beck, Boyd, Bricken, Byrd, Calfee, Campbell, Camper, Carr, Carringer, Carter, Cassida, Sapicki, Chisholm, Clemens, Cochran, Cooper, Crawford, Curcio, Darby, Dixie, Doggett, Eldridge, Faison, Farmer, Freeman, Gant, Garrett, Gillespie, Griffey, Grills, Hakeem, Halford, Hall, Hardaway, Harris, Haston, Hawk, Hazelwood, Helton, Hicks of Hawkins, Hicks of Washington, Hodges, Holesclaw, Howell, Halsey, Hurt, Jernigan, Johnson of Montgomery,
Sexton.
Johnson of Knox, Keesling, Kumar, Lafferty, Lamar, Lamberth, Leatherwood, Littleton, Love, Lynn, Manis, Marsh, McKenzie, Miller, Mitchell, Moody, Moon, Ogles, Parkinson, Potts, Powell, Powers, Reagan, Ramsey, Reedy, Rudd, Rudder, Russell, Sexton of Cumberland, Sexton of Granger, Shaw, Sherrill, Smith, Sparks, Stewart, Terry, Thompson, Todd, Towns, Travis, Vaughn, Warner, Weaver, White, Whitson, Williams, Wendell, Wright, Zachary,
Mr. Clerk, please announce the vote.
Mr. Speaker, we have 95 votes for Speaker Cameron Sexton, 1 present non-voting.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Having received a majority of the votes cast, I hereby declare the Honorable Cameron Sexton of Cumberland County duly, legally, and constitutionally elected Speaker of the House for the 112th General Assembly. Without objection, the motion to reconsider goes to the table. The oath of office will be administered by Justin Holly Kirby.
I, Cameron Sexton, do solemnly swear as Speaker of the House of Representatives for the state of Tennessee, for the 112th General Assembly, that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and to truly and faithfully discharge the duties of the office to the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God. Thank you. Thank you, members. Thank you all.
Speaker Sexton, you're recognized.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker Johnson. Members, thank you for your vote of confidence to lead you in this 112th General Assembly. A year ago, we convened the General Assembly, and I talked about answering the call. As we gavel in today for the first day of the 112th General Assembly, we have seen dark clouds all across our country. Pandemics, tornadoes, violence, and unrest, and especially a particular tough Christmas day right here in Nashville. Tennessee must continue to be an example for the rest of the country on how to work together during these challenging times. Today, I ask each of you one simple question. What will you do with the time you have to serve? Each of us has a limited time to serve. So I ask again, what will you do with your time? We face many great challenges, but we also have many great opportunities as we begin this new session. I know this body is up to the challenge. We will create new opportunities for all of our citizens. Education is a priority for all of us. We must get our children back in the classroom to learn from teachers as quickly as we can. A quality education is the key to family and economic growth in our great state. We should all recognize those people on the front lines: educators, healthcare providers, first responders, members of law enforcement, as well as all of those who've gone to work each and every day to make sure you and I are safe and healthy. So members, let's take a moment to thank and recognize our first responders all across this state and throughout our country. There is a reason Tennessee is the most fiscally stable state in the entire nation, because we in this chamber have all been stewards, responsible stewards, and Tennessee remains on strong financial footing despite these remarkable economic challenges we have faced in the last year. As leaders in our communities and as leaders in Tennessee, we must continue to rise above anger, frustration, and division once again this year, to come together to put the immediate and emerging needs of all Tennesseans ahead of our individual goals and our personal aspirations. While we may not always agree on the solutions to every issue facing us, more times than not, though, we do agree. Beginning today, we each have a new path of service we can choose. This year and throughout this General Assembly, let's choose the path forward that makes us more effective servants, better people for our families, for our constituents, and for this great state. Our time here is not infinite. Let me repeat. Our time here is not infinite. It is but a short period of time in our lives. I urge everyone to make the most out of your time while we are here. I'm excited to serve with Governor Lee, Lieutenant Governor McNally, and all of you in the 112th General Assembly. Once again, we did it last year. We can do it this next 2 years. I hope we will all continue to answer the call to serve that every person in the state of Tennessee gave us that ability to serve the call for them in this historic body that we are here today for our great state. Thank you. God bless you. Hope to have a great year. The next order of business is the election of Speaker Pro Tem of the House of Representatives. I now declare that nominations are in order for the office of Speaker Pro Tem. Representative White is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I nominate for our Speaker Pro Tem a most qualified member of our body. I have known him well as we began serving together in the 106th legislative session. I'll nominate for our Speaker Pro Tem, Representative Pat Marsh. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. You've heard the nomination. Do I hear a second? Representative Hazelwood, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my honor to second the nomination for my friend and our colleague, Pat Marsh, to serve as Speaker Pro Tem of the 112th General Assembly of the House of Representatives of Tennessee.
Properly second. Are there any more nominations? Assistant Leader Gant, you are recognized. All right, hang on. My bad. Let's rewind. Properly second. Any more nominations? Leader Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that nomination cease. And ask the clerk to call the roll.
You've heard the motion. Do I hear a second? Properly second. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, please proceed with calling the roll.
Representative Alexander, Baum, Beck, Boyd, Bricken, Byrd, Calfee, Campbell, Camper, Carr, Carringer, Carter, Cassida, Sapicki, Chisholm, Clemens, Cochran, Cooper, Crawford, Curcio, Darby, Dixie, Doggett, Eldridge, Faison, Farmer, Freeman, Gant, Garrett, Gillespie, Griffey, Grills, Hakeem, Halford, Hall, Hardaway, Harris, Haston, Hawk, Hazelwood, Helton, Hicks of Hawkins, Hicks of Washington, Hodges, Holesclaw, Howell, Halsey, Hurt, Jernigan, Johnson of Montgomery, Johnson of Knox, Kiesling, Kumar, Lafferty, Lamar, Lamberth, Leatherwood, Littleton, Love, Lynn, Manis, Marsh, McKenzie, Miller, Mitchell, Moody, Moon, Ogles, Parkinson, Potts, Powell, Powers, Reagan, Ramsey, Reedy, Rudd, Rudder, Russell, Sexton of Cumberland,
Marsh,
Sexton of Granger, Shaw, Sherrill, Smith, Sparks, Stewart, Terry, Thompson, Todd, Towns, Travis, Vaughn, Warner, Weaver, White, Whitson, Williams, Wendell, Wright, Zachary,
Mr. Clerk, please announce the vote.
Mr. Speaker, 95 votes for Representative Pat Marsh, 1 present, not voting.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Having received the majority of the votes cast, I now declare the Honorable Pat Marsh of Bedford County duly, legally, and constitutionally elected Speaker Pro Tem of the House of Representatives for the 112th General Assembly. Without objection, the motion to reconsider goes on the table. The oath of office will be administered by the Honorable Justice Kirby. Justice Kirby, you are recognized.
It is my great honor to administer the oath of office to you today. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Pat Marsh,
I, Pat Marsh,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
as Speaker Pro Tem
as Speaker Pro Tem
of the House of Representatives
of the House of Representatives
for the State of Tennessee
for the State of Tennessee
for the 112th General Assembly
for the 112th General Assembly
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Tennessee,
of the State of Tennessee,
and to
truly
and faithfully
discharge the
of
duties
the office
to the best of my knowledge
and ability.
and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
It is my honor to recognize Speaker Pro Tem Marsh for your remarks in the well.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'm deeply blessed, honored, and excited about my new role in leadership and to my role in helping Speaker Sexton become successful and our whole membership become successful in this session of 2021. I'm looking forward to working with our entire membership to make our state stronger and more successful. Congratulations to our 10 new members. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you all better and to working with you and help you become successful in your new role. Let's all have a great 2021 session and be successful for our state and our constituents. Thank you very much for your vote of confidence. Thank you.
Members, as usual, we have special guests in the chamber, and the chairman is Senator Lundberg. You are recognized at Deputy Speaker Johnson's desk.
Mr. Speaker, the Senate has completed its organization, and we're ready to conduct business, sir.
Thank you very much. We look forward to working with you. The next order of business is the appointment of officers of the House. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, I hereby appoint the Honorable Tammy Letzler of Rutherford County as the Chief Clerk of the House of Representatives. I appoint the Honorable Greg Glass of Williamson County as the Chief Engrossing Clerk of the House of Representatives. I appoint the Honorable Kim Cox of Davidson County as the Assistant Chief Clerk of the House of Representatives. I appoint the Honorable Daniel Hicks of Davidson County as the Parliamentarian of the House of Representatives. And ladies and gentlemen, I appoint the Honorable Bobby Trotter of Robertson County as the Chief Sergeant at Arms. With those names called, please come to the well to be sworn in by Justice Kirby. Justice Kirby, you are recognized.
It is my great honor to administer the oath of office to all of you. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Bobby Trotter.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
As
officers
of the House of Representatives for the state of Tennessee
for the
112th General Assembly that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee and to truly and faithfully discharge the duties of the office to the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God. Congratulations to all of you.
Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that you appoint a committee to notify the governor that the House has perfected its organization and is ready to conduct business.
Proper motion, properly second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion carries. I appoint the following members to notify the governor. Representatives Alexander, Carringer, Darby, Gillespie, McKenzie, and Representative Hazelwood will serve as the chair. Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that you appoint a committee to notify the Senate that the House has perfected its organization and is ready to conduct business.
Proper motion, properly second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion carries. I appoint the following members to notify the Senate. Representatives Campbell, Harris, Hicks of Washington, Manis, Warner, and Chairman Terry will serve as the chair. Would these committees please retire? The House will stand in a brief recess pending the return and report of these committees. Mr. Sergeant of Arms, invite the members into the chamber and close the doors. I declare the organization session of the House of Representatives of the 112th General Assembly now in session. Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that we dispense with the calling of the roll.
Without objection, so ordered. Representative Hazelwood, the chairman of the committee to inform the governor, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your select committee to inform the governor has completed its work.
Thank you. Representative Terry, the chairman of the committee to inform the Senate, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your select committee to inform the Senate has completed its task.
Thank you, Representative Terry. Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In order to facilitate the adoption of permanent rules for the House of Representatives of the 112th General Assembly, I move that a committee be appointed to review the temporary rules of the House and any suggested rule changes, following which the Select Committee on Rules shall report to the full House its recommendation for permanent rules.
Proper motion, properly second. Those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion carries. I appoint the following members to the Select Committee on Rules: Johnson of Montgomery, Camper, Crawford, Freeman, Hazelwood, Hicks of Hawkins, Hurt, Lamberth, Moody, Wendell, and Speaker Pro Tem Marsh will serve as the chair. Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In order for the House to go into joint convention with the Senate for the purposes of electing the constitutional officers, I move to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of Senate Joint Resolution 24.
Mr. Clerk, please read the caption.
Senate Joint Resolution 24 by Leader Lamberth and others, a resolution to call a joint convention of the House of Representatives and the Senate for the purpose of electing Secretary of State, a Comptroller of the Treasury, and a State Treasurer.
Are there any objections? Without objection, the rules are suspended. Leader Lamberth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to concur in Senate Joint Resolution 24.
Gentleman moves to concur in Senate Joint Resolution 24. All in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. You concur. Without objection, the motion to reconsider goes to the table. I appoint the following members to the Select Committees to review the audits and operations of the Comptroller's Office and the Treasuries: Representatives Johnson of Montgomery, Hicks of Hawkins, and Freeman. Representative Johnson of Montgomery, or Deputy Speaker Johnson of Montgomery, will serve as the chair. Mr. Clerk, proceed with the regular order of business.
Welcoming and honoring.
Any recognition? Seeing none. Next, Mr. Clerk, next order.
Introduction of resolutions.
Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that all resolutions properly filed be introduced pursuant to Rule Number 17 in place of the consent calendar held on the clerk's desk pending the appointment of the proper standing committee.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order.
Senate Joint Resolutions congratulatory memorializing resolution laying over introduction of bills.
Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that House Bills 1 through 119 be introduced and passed on first consideration.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Senate bills on first consideration, Senate bills on second consideration, House bills on second consideration, petitions and memorials, reports from standing committees, reports from select committees, calendars, unfinished business.
Unfinished business. Representative Lamar, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to move to withdraw House Bill 111 from the committee in the House.
You've heard the motion. Any objection? Without objection, so ordered. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Announcements.
Announcements. Any announcements? Seeing none. Mr. Clerk. Oh, Mr. Clerk, you are recognized under announcements.
Members, the state photographer will be available next week or this week to take official portraits for the 112th General Assembly. No appointment is necessary. This will serve as your official legislative photograph. It will be used in various publications, including the House Chamber Book, Tennessee Blue Book, and the Tennessee Legislative website. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact Kim Cox in the clerk's office. The state photographer will be located in conference room 8B in Cordell Hall. That's 8B. Today, 2 to 4. Wednesday, 10 to 4. Thursday, 10 a.m. to noon. Also, Mr. Speaker, the committee to review the audits and operations of the Comptroller's Office and the Treasurer's Office will meet at 3 p.m. today in Room 1. That's 3 p.m. today, House Hearing Room 1.
Representative Hardaway, you have an announcement. You're recognized at Leader Camper's desk.
Thank you, Speaker Sexton. The Tennessee Black Caucus will gather at the Sampson Keeble bus at 2 p.m. for a group photo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Speaker Pro Tem Marsh, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Select Committee on Rules will meet today at 3:30 in conference room 8C. That's 8C at 3:30. Any member who wishes to submit a proposed rule change must submit their proposal to my office by 2 p.m. 2 p.m. today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further announcements? Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Roll call.
Roll call. Please let journal reflect Representative Doggett is an aye for roll call. Please take the roll, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, 96 members present.
Next order, Mr. Clerk.
That completes the regular order, Mr. Speaker.
Leader Lamberth, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until 9 a.m. on Wednesday, January the 13th, 2021.
Without objection, the House stands in recess till 9 a.m. on Wednesday, January 13th, 2021.